San Francisco has a plan to transform its downtown into a global destination. That plan requires building a better Market Street.
Many say that's critical to the local businesses that are still recovering from the pandemic.
ABC 7 News reporter Leanne Melendez is here to explain and let us know how it's going.
Well, not great.
Okay.
But not as bad as during the pandemic. So that's not saying much, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So, you know, the people we spoke to said if San Francisco wants to make a comeback, the focus has to be on Market Street. Now, other major cities are doing it, for example, New York City. The iconic Broadway has been key to bringing life back to Midtown. The Champs-Élysées in Paris, greener and with more pedestrians. And people here say it's time for Market Street to reinvent itself.
In 1962, Market Street was on the verge of a major restoration project, which back then caught the attention of the New York Times.
That came after a city report titled, "What to Do About Market Street." Back then, the goal was to add new life into Market Street as a center for shopping, business, and entertainment. But wait a minute. It's 2023. Isn't San Francisco trying to do that again?
Alex Hanna has owned Oxford Street Clothing for 30 years.
There was lots of traffic. Now the traffic is very slow. The only thing we're keeping us here because we have a loyal customer. If you depend on the traffic, you won't be survive.
Yeah. That foot traffic or car traffic?
Both of them is hurting.
He initially blames the demise of some businesses on the city's efforts to slowly begin banning private cars. But then in 2012, there was renewed hope for the revitalization of the area when Twitter and other businesses occupied residency here. But that proved not to be the answer everyone anticipated. And then just months before the pandemic, the city removed all car traffic from Market Street. That's when the number of bicyclists on Market Street increased by 25%. Then the city shut down, and those workers that were supposed to revitalize the neighborhood dwindled because hardly anyone was coming to work downtown. Even the Bicycle Coalition admits bike commuting downtown is nowhere near what it once was. We wanted to see why many bicyclists were staying away from Market Street, so we rode.
One of the things that bicyclists often complain about is the uneven surfaces on Market Street, not to mention the potholes. And you really have to pay attention because you can really get seriously hurt.
What the city needs to do and the Department of Public Works needs to do is they need to start repaving our streets wherever they are. We would like the bike lanes to also be part of that because if you make safe pavement for people biking, they will use those streets.
She says any revitalization of Market Street has to include bicyclists and pedestrians. There is a massive construction project underway, part of that Better Market Street makeover. The project was sold on a much larger scale. It was supposed to make Market Street car-free from Octavia Street to the Embarcadero. But the city had to return the federal money for the project because it was unable to meet an imposed deadline.
There are lots of unfulfilled promises, but that doesn't mean that Better Market Street can't continue to be working towards a future of sustainable transportation.
Business owners along Market Street insist customers will not return unless they feel safe and the area is clean.
Just the cleanliness, don't like stepping in poop every other day, so.
Supervisor Matt Dorsey wants to create a downtown commercial core police district. It would dedicate police patrols in the area.
If you can imagine sort of an area that would be from the Ferry Building down Market Street, down to Market and Van Ness. It should also encompass Union Square. It should also encompass the Moscone Center convention areas and the hotels around there.
We need to get people to say, let's go to Market Street. Let's do stuff on Market Street.
Manny Ecutil is a small business owner who also happens to be on the Municipal Transportation Board. As a San Francisco resident, he'd like to see a section of Market Street converted into a promenade.
Maybe even turn it into a market. Maybe plant a redwood grove. Landscape it, flowers, music, poetry, activations. Actually create something happening on the street that brings people to Market Street to do things.
This is a beautiful city. I love it. But unfortunately, we were facing lots of problems here. with the homeless, with the shoplifting, with, you know, it's very tough. It's not a piece of cake now.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take a lot of time, long time, you could say.
So he fears that any improvements will do nothing to the area unless the homeless issue and, more importantly, the drug dealings there are addressed. In fact, he says it could have the opposite effect. And, you know, you and I have been here for a long time, and that area has always really struggled.
It's never really been solved.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's such a beautiful area. The sidewalks are wide. It's flat. You can walk for miles.
Oh, no, it could be fantastic. But,
exactly.
And that business owner, shopkeeper, 30 years in business, he knows what he's talking about. He's seen it over the years. He understands what's really going on.
That's right.
Thanks, Leanne.